We agree with the proposition side when they said there is a risky condition the gig company workers face in status quo. They are working within a volatile condition in which they can get into workplace accident or they can be sick due to the working environment. But we don't agree that the responsibility to pay for the work benefits to cover that risk should be in the hand of the users. We think it should be in the hand of the gig company because these companies are the most contributive actor in actively creating this business model. What is our stance? We think instead of imposing additional fee to the gig economy users, we will impose the burden to give work benefit to gig companies because we think they have more capacity in doing this, and the result of that will be able to protect society and the workers. I have one independent rebuttal. I don't have that much of rebuttal because we also agree that workers need the work benefit. The main contention is who deserves to pay for this work benefit. So the only rebuttal is when they say the customer is the one that is responsible to pay the work benefit because of two things. A, the existence of the rating system in which the users are directly accountable to the workers' income, and B, there is added value that is provided by the service of gig companies. They say that we should tax the users like just how we tax the customers of McDonald's by imposing the value added tax. So let's debunk this idea one by one. On the first idea, we think that the existence of the rating system should not be the parameter in imposing additional fee to the users. Because if that is the parameter that they want to use, it means any other business model that use rating system, for instance, food service and entertainment industry, should also tax customers specifically for this rating system. The fact that we don't tax users for the presence of rating system in those industries indicates you that the parameter of rating system to tax someone is irrelevant in this debate. Even if, assuming but not conceding, the rating system is a valid parameter to impose additional burden to an actor, we don't think that actor is the users. We think that this is the gig company. Because the fact that this rating system exists, it is not because the users, since the one that designed the rating system is the company, it is because the active action of the gig company to gain profit by making their service to be more seemingly customer-centric. The gig companies are the one that create this demanding environment. Therefore, because the company is the one that established this rating system and create inconvenience to the workers by like arbitrary suspension due to this rating, the accountability of giving the work benefits should go to the company instead of the users. On the second idea, we don't agree that there is an added value within the service that is provided by the company. Unlike McDonald's or other restaurants in which there is value-added tax imposed to the users, the gig company service have no added value. Why? Because the restaurant use the raw material and somehow make foods from those raw materials. These restaurants transform less valuable raw materials to make a valuable food that can be sold to the users. Because there's additional value made by the restaurant, it requires the users to credit that effort by imposing the users value-added tax. It is different with Gojek and Airbnb that only provide service without any additional value in that service. Gojek only provides you motorcycle and driver so you can travel. Airbnb only provide you with room so you can stay in. This is the same reason why we don't tax user of laundry service, because there is definitely no additional value of using your washing machine to get money. Therefore, because there is no additional value, we should not impose the users with this tax. I have 2 points of argument. First, why the gig company have moral and legal responsibility to provide work benefits to the workers, and second argument is why their proposal will harm the workers. Ladies and gentlemen, notice that this house and this debate is the government of a state, because obviously the one that can make policy and impose regulation to the companies, to the society, is the government. Because of that, we have characterized what is the parameter of the government imposing burden to certain parties. We believe the parameter of the government imposing burden to certain parties is on the matrix of capacity. That is why in vast majority of instances, the government all around the world would enforce the progressive tax system in which the richest or the one that have more capacity is legally obliged to pay more tax than the poor or the one that have less capacity. In this context, the one that have more capacity is the gig companies, because their operation cost is mostly only for server maintenance and advertisement. Exactly because unlike any other conventional company, with those companies have to pay payroll check for the workers, renting many buildings and etc., the gig companies operate on a minimum expenditure business model. It means the moment we impose burden to these companies to pay for the work benefits for the workers, they will always find a way to cut their production costs effectively. For instance, a more targeted and efficient advertising, establishing a less costly maintenance server, and most importantly, the gig companies can have a mutually lucrative deal with the insurance company to cut the expenditure to spend on the work benefits. This is exactly why Indonesia, Gojek and Uber have a deal with Allianz Insurance to give healthcare insurance to the Gojek and Uber drivers at a very cheaper price due to this deal. Contrast that with the users, which mainly comprise of middle to lower class of society that have less capacity to handle the price increase. We believe the middle to lower class of society on their side of the house will be more reluctant and have less purchasing power to access this gig company service. Notice that the first speaker of the proposition side said that the Gojek price that was initially 10,000 rupiah increased to 15,000 rupiah. It means their proposal will be literally increasing the price of the service to 35%. It is a huge number, ladies and gentlemen. Why is this harmful? Because their proposal will harm the poor people. The middle to lower class of society will no longer have the ability to experience the luxury of having comfortability in being mobile from one area to other area using Gojek or Uber. Any other options, for instance, public transportation on traditional ojek or taxi is much less viable option because it is less comfortable and is more expensive. Thus, because the gig companies have more capacity to pay for the work benefits of their workers compared to the users, and in order to give better and accessible service to the society that has no other option, it makes the government justified to impose this burden to gig companies instead of the users. Second argument, why imposing additional fee to the gig economy users harms the workers that we supposed to protect in this debate. We believe after we impose this additional fee to the users will rethink twice and reconsider the decision to use this gig company service frequently. Because if the price increase 5,000 rupiah per ride, it means if it is a round trip, it equals additional 10,000 rupiah per day. And multiply it by 30 in a month, it means on average, a person have to spend 300,000 rupiah more monthly just for a Gojek. It means there will be less people using this Gojek or Uber or gig company service, right? Why is this harmful for the worker of this gig company? Because as the price gets more expensive, there will be less people ordering and less demand for this service. It means the gig companies will not be that aggressive in recruiting more workers or more Gojek drivers because the additional drivers will not be needed considering there is not that much demand. It means on the side of the house, there will be less jobs created and even some workers will be fired. This is harmful because the jobs are important for a middle-aged man that have no education to pursue conventional career. These jobs are important to fathers that just got laid off by the company because they are being replaced by the younger and more promising employees. These jobs are important for varsity students that want to get education, more pay for the tuition fee so they can graduate. These aspiring people that have goal to provide substances for their family, to improve their life, will be shut down for opportunity to achieve their dream because the gig company will not recruit them because there is less demand. Comparatively on the side of the house, there will be no price increase since the gig company have the ability to handle the burden of providing the work benefits by more targeted advertising or have deal with this insurance company. It means we maintain the demand from the society. It means we maintain the job vacancy for this gig company workers because we protect society that is looking for decent accessible service because we protect the gig company workers. We are very proud to oppose. Let's impose burden to the one that deserve to be imposed.